A very good morning to one and all. Children, this is your English language class, and we are going to start our new topic, which is comparison of adverbs. Now, we all did adverbs before, so before we start comparison of adverbs, let us quickly revise what adverbs are. Children, adverbs are words used to express how something is done. In simple language, if we say adverbs are the words which add more meaning to verbs, and verbs are action words. So the words which tells us more about the actions, that how that action is done, those words are called adverbs. For example, the dog sleeps quietly. Here, how the dog is sleeping? Quietly. So sleeps is the action, right? That is the verb. And how he is sleeping or how the dog is sleeping? Quietly. So this word quietly is an adverb as it is giving more meaning to the word sleeps. Alright? Okay, so these are adverbs. Now we will begin with comparison of adverbs. Children, the way we have 3 degrees of comparison in adjectives. We had positive degree, comparative, and superlative. In the same way, we have degrees of comparison in adverbs as well. In adverbs also, we have the same 3 degrees. Positive, which is the root form of the verb, the basic form. Then comparative, when you compare between two. And superlative is the highest degree of how an action is performed, when there is comparison between more than 2 things. So let us read from here. Comparative adverbs express a higher or lower degree of how an action is performed, and superlative adverbs are used to identify the highest or lowest degree of how an action is performed. For example, you can see a long, longer, longest. Promptly. Children, usually the adverbs which end with ly, they are formed in comparative or superlative degree by adding more or most to it. Like promptly will become more promptly, most promptly. Then we have some irregular forms. That means these adverbs, they don't change into comparative and superlative by adding er or est or by adding more or most. They change completely. Like well or good becomes better and best. And adverbs in negative meaning slowly becomes less slowly and least slowly. Okay, let us see more of these comparison of adverbs. Just like adjectives, adverbs also have 3 degrees of comparison we just discussed. First is positive. It is the most basic form of adverb. It simply describes an adverb like the boy runs fast. So how the boy is running here? Fast. So fast is the basic form, the positive form. So fast, late, far, soon, hard, near, all these are basic forms of adverbs. Comparative. Now adverbs can be compared in the same way as we did with adjectives. Okay, so when we compare 2 things, the comparative form of an adverb is made by comparing 2 things. So we just add er, like the boy runs faster than his father. So here the boy and the father are compared. Faster. So clean becomes cleaner, high becomes higher in comparative. By using more, when there are adverbs which end with ly, then before that adverb we just add more in comparative. So more softly, more happily. In superlative, it is like when you compare more than 2 things, and in normal adverbs, simple adverbs, we add est at the end of adverbs. Like the athlete runs the fastest, loudest, soonest. And when there are adverbs which end with ly, in that the superlative form, we add most before the adverb, like most truly, most abruptly. Let's see more here. If the adverb ends in ly, then the comparative degree is formed by adding more before the positive, and superlative is formed by adding most before the positive, like carefully and gently. These adverbs are ending with ly. So in comparative, we'll add more before it, so it will be more carefully, more gently. And in superlative, we add most before it. So it is most carefully and most gently. Okay, children, let's see some examples here. Big becomes bigger, biggest. Small, smaller, smallest. Cold, colder, coldest. Tall, taller, tallest. Sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Short, shorter, shortest. Funny, funnier, funniest. Green, greener, greenest. Nice, nicer, nicest. Dark, darker, darkest. Now again, let's just see this once very quickly. Adverbs ending in ly. Carefully and quickly, it will become more carefully, more quickly. Most carefully, most quickly. Adverbs with same form as adjectives. So fast, faster, fastest. Hard, harder, hardest. And early, earlier, earliest. Irregular adverbs. Bad, worse, worst. Well, better, best. Little, less, least. Much, more, and most. These irregular adverbs are the ones which change in comparative and superlative completely. You just cannot add more or most to it, or er or est to it. Let's see some more adverbs here. Irregular ones. Badly, worse, worst. Much, more, most. Little, less, least. Again, much, more, most. And well, better, best. Children, let's read from the book now. Tom writes well. Dick writes better than Tom. Here two are compared. And Harry writes the best. Well, better, and best. These are 3 degrees of comparison of adverbs. Okay, and these are irregular adverbs as they're changing completely. Now, Anita does her work skillfully. Kavita does her work more skillfully. And Sarita does her work most skillfully. Here, this adverb skillfully is ending with ly. So in this comparative form, we add more skillfully, and in superlative, we add most skillfully. In these sentences, well, better, best, and skillfully, more skillfully, and most skillfully are degrees of comparison of adverbs. Some adverbs are generally compared like adjectives. Adverbs having one syllable, it is the sound, form the comparative by adding er and the superlative by adding est. Means the sound of the vowel here. Fast, faster, fastest. Hard, harder, hardest. High, higher, highest. Late, later, latest. Long, longer, longest. Near, nearer, nearest. And soon, sooner, soonest. Adverbs ending in ly form the comparative by adding more and the superlative by adding most. Beautifully becomes more beautifully and most beautifully. Bravely, more bravely, most bravely. Brightly, more brightly, most brightly. Carefully, more carefully, most carefully. Skillfully, more skillfully, most skillfully. And wisely, more wisely, most wisely. Now the word early never changes its degree by adding more or most before it. It has the following form. So early is an exception, we can say. Early, though it is ending with ly, we will not add more or most to it. This y will change and you just have to put ier and iest. Earlier, earliest. Some adverbs form their comparative and superlative degrees in an irregular way. Like badly or ill becomes worse, worst. Far, farther, farthest. Late, later, latest. Little, less, least. Much, more, most. Near, nearer, nearest or next. Well, better, best. So children, this is comparison of adverbs and it is much more like comparison of adjectives we have done before. So we will be discussing book exercises in the class and we'll discuss more about this topic. Till then, all of you have a nice day. Stay home and stay safe. Thank you.